In this video, I'll show you how to use JavaScript JS to extract the entity name or the entity ID in your Microsoft Power Apps. Now, this is a model driven app. Now, what I'm going to do is like this is a model driven app. I'm extracting values from airline table and it is giving me the list of all the airlines. And now, if I go inside a record, it will actually show me the details about that record. Now, I'm going to make use of this form to load the JS. So once I click on any of the record, that JS will load. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a JavaScript, and then once that JavaScript is executed on the form load, this will display the output. Now, the goal of this exercise is to extract the entity name or the entity ID. Now, in this example, now this is a model driven app, right? Now, in the model driven app, you can have multiple tables. Now, if you want to know which table does this particular link points to, or which table does this link points to, you can do that in JS. So in JS, you can write a simple piece of code just to extract the entity ID or the entity name. Now, when I say entity ID means like, let me show you the backend table. So let me show you the table. So so the table name is airlines. Now there are multiple tables like airlines, aircraft models, destination cities, and airport, but we are currently focusing on one table called as entities, airlines. Now we are going to extract the ID and the entity name. Now, I have this solution over here. Now, in the solution, I have some tables. So, the one of the table is airlines. So, if I go into this airlines, as you see over here, this is like if I go to properties here, you can see the table details. So, the table logical name is G Corp underscore airlines, and this is that table schema name. Okay, and here you will see this is like the table ID. Okay, now in order to extract these information, we are going to make use of JS. So let's start writing some JS over here. Now this is Visual Studio Code. I'm going to write piece of code over here. So I'm going to make use of function, and then the function is let's get the entity details, and I'm going to pass execution context. So execution context. So the function name is get entity details, and I'm getting the execution context. So let's say form context equal to execution context dot get form context. Okay. Now this will give me the form context, and we are going to make use of two variables. So entity ID. So let's call it the entity ID equal to form context dot data dot entity dot get id. So this will give me the id of that specific table. Okay, and also there is another variable which we are going to make use of, which is called as where entity name. So it's giving me the code where entity name is form context dot data dot entity dot get entity name. Now this will give me the id and the entity name. So let's put it in an alert. So let me say entity id. So let's say entity name and entity id. So it's given me the code. So entity name, and then let me put a slash n, and then we put in a new line. So entity name and entity id. So this is a piece of code which will give me the entity name and the entity id from that model driven app. Let me format this document, and this is the piece of code. So let's copy this code. So the web resource which I've already created well before, click on save, and you publish this. Now I'm already referring this particular web resource in the form. So if you see this form, I will onload event handler. This is already pointing to the library, and the name of the function is get entity details. Let's pass the execution context as the first parameters and click on save and publish. So what does this piece of code is going to do? They're going to give the entity ID and the entity name. So let me go into the model driven app, do a control F5, hard refresh so that the code gets refreshed in the backend. And if I go into any one of the record, that code should trigger. Now, as you see over here, it has already given me this value gcorp underscore airlines, which is the entity name. Yes, that's right. That's the logical name you're going to get. And also you get the value E2B199 ending with 2. Okay. So if you come over here, here you will see gcorp underscore airlines, right? Now, this is the logical name which was given by that JavaScript code. So what we have done, we have made use of form context, and we have passed the form context dot data dot entity dot get entity name to get the entity name, and then we also got the ID listed. Now ID is basically, now we got something called as, let me show you here, we got an ID E2B199FE. Now this ID is the record ID. Now, when I say record ID means this is the record name is Air India, right? So if you see over here in the URL, this is that same number E2B. So that means if you want to get the context of that specific record set, you can get that value over here. So this is that E2B199. Now the same thing can be observed over here. So if you go to the table, now here against Air India, we have E2B199. It's just the format is different. Now if you want to use the ID and the entity name, you need to format it in a different way. Now what do you mean by in a different way is, now if you see the format, it comes with the curly braces, right? So this is a curly brace over here. Now you need to remove the curly brace and convert all this GUID into a lowercase. Okay, and then that will be a well-formed GUID, and then you can pass that GUID and then extract various other component. If you want to do perform some more operations, you can do that. Now this is useful if you're operating on a form, and then if that form has it has a linked record with a different table. So for that purpose, you can make use of this particular code. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically extract the entity name and the record ID of that specific entity using JavaScript for a model driven app. Thanks for watching.